Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to see the concept of method overloading in Java. This concept is very important from interview point of view as well. A lot of times the question is asked in terms of what is method overloading and what is the difference in between method overloading and overriding. In this session, we are going to focus on method overloading though. For the overriding part, we will see it in the future when we'll see the concept of class inheritance. So overloading says inside a class, say currently we are inside method overloading class. You can give any name to the class. I'm just using method overloading as my class name. So inside a class, you can have methods with the same name as long as they differ with the arguments, as long as they differ in terms of arguments. And there are some rules for that as well. So let us take an example. Let us create a simple method, public void addition, and it is simply going to add two numbers, integer num1 and integer num2, and show the output in the console, that is num1 plus num2. So a simple method, addition accepts two integers. Now if I want to create another method that accepts and adds two double values, not integer but two doubles, can I do that? Yes. So I can create the exact same method, addition, as long as I'm providing the parameters differently, the arguments differently. Like in this case, if I make int as double here and second argument also as double. So now what this will do, the second method also has the same name, and only difference is the data type of the arguments. First method is accepting two integers, second method is accepting two double values. Now let us say I want to create another addition method that accepts one integer and one double. That is also fine. So I want to create another method that accepts one double and another value is integer. That is also fine. So I want to create another method that accepts three integers, num3, and then add all those. So it is accepting num1, num2, and num3, and then we can also make some amendments over here. And you can go on like this. So what we are doing, we have 5 methods. The name of the method is addition, but only difference is in terms of the data type of the arguments, or the number of arguments, or the order of the arguments. So as long as you differ by one or more of these, one is the data type of the arguments. You have to create the arguments with different data type in order to create a method overloading. Second is the order of the arguments. Like in this case, we have first argument as integer, second argument as double. In this addition method, we have first argument as double and second is integer, or the number of arguments, 3. So as long as you differ in terms of data type, second is the number of arguments, and third is the order of the arguments. So either by using one or more of these, you have to show the difference in terms of arguments, and then Java allows you to create the methods of the same name. Now, how does Java call these methods? Let us go to the temp class where we have a main method and create the object of method overloading class. Method overloading, say m2 is equal to new method overloading, and m2 dot addition, say 10 comma 20, and m2 dot addition, say 12.12 comma 30, and m2 dot addition again, and say 33.33 comma 44.44, and something like m2 dot addition again, say 31 comma 21 point something, and m2 dot addition, say 12 comma 34 comma 55. So 3 arguments in this case. And depending upon the data type of the arguments, Java will find out which actual method to execute from method overloading class in this case. So when it sees the arguments as both integers, it's going to call an addition method which has both integer arguments, like in this case, this one. For the second one, the arguments are like double and integer. So it's going to go towards a method which has first argument as double and second argument as integer. So in this case, I think this one. So over here we have two arguments as double. So it'll go to the method which has both the arguments at double and execute that. So looking at the data type of the arguments, looking at the arguments basically, it will find out the exact method to be executed. Okay, this is the concept of method overloading in Java. Now note, I am saying that data type of the method should be different, not the name. Like in sometimes I see people do mistakes like say int a and int b, and they will do like a plus b over here, and they say that we are creating the difference in terms of arguments, but that is not true. See, over here we have int num1 num2, int a and b, and they are different, so Java should allow. No, Java does not look at the name of the arguments. Name does not matter, it can be anything, it's the data type. Because see, if this was allowed and Java needs to execute something like addition 10 and 20, so what is 10 and 20? They are integers, so go for a method which has two integer arguments. This is also there and this is also there, so a confusion will occur. So to avoid it, it looks at not the name of the arguments but the data type, so this conflict will never occur. The difference should be there at least in terms of data type or the order of the arguments or the number of the arguments, and you are good to use same method multiple number of times. So this is the concept of method overloading, using the same method with different arguments.